This is
Thank you for joining us. Good evening and welcome to Kwararafa Television News. I am Joachim Dengana. First, the headlines. Tinubu orders EFCC to vacate on account freeze order. President Bola Tinubu has approved Vice President Kashim Shettima's 2-week leave. And Nigeria and Burundi deepen military cooperation against terrorism. And now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to immediately return to court and vacate the order freezing the accounts of the Osun State government. The president said the directive was necessary to protect public confidence in the democratic process, noting that the state was only days away from its governorship election. Tinubu, in a statement by the State House, said he was not opposed to the EFCC exercise of its statutory powers, but expressed concern over the timing of the action. The EFCC had obtained the order as part of its investigation into alleged financial infractions involving the Osun State government. The Commission had earlier defended the move, insisting that its actions were with the law and that it had the authority to place restrictions on accounts suspended to be linked to financial crimes. Vice President Kashim Shettima began a 2-week leave approved by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, marking his first leave since assuming office on May 29, 2023. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communication at the Office of the Vice President, Stanley Nwocha, said Shettima would devote the period to study, reflect, and intellectual renewal as part of efforts to strengthen its capacity for continued national service. Nwocha said the leave offers the Vice President opportunity to review the administration ongoing programs, deepen its understanding of emerging national global policy issues, and prepare for the responsibilities ahead as the federal government intensifies implementation of the Renewed Hope agenda. He also chairs the National Economic Council, which brings together the governors of the 36 states, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and other public officials to deliberate on economic policy and citizens' welfare. The West African Examination Council says 61.54% of candidates will start the 2026 West African Senior School Certificate Examination for school candidates secure 5 credits and above. This includes English language and mathematics, leaving 38.46% unable to meet the benchmark. The examination body, however, withheld the results of candidates sponsored by indebted state governments pending the settlement of outstanding payments owed to the council. The head of the Nigerian National Office of WAEC, Dr. Amos Dangote, announced this during a press briefing at the council's headquarters in Yaba, Lagos, where he released the results of the 2026 computer-based WASC for school candidates. He assured that efforts were ongoing to conclude the processing and release of the outstanding results within few days. Dangote said the affected candidates would not be able to access their results until the defaulting state government paid their debts to the council. Now to PFIPC scandal, the family of the purported Director General of the Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council, Adeyemi Adeniyi, alleged that members of the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating the PFIPC are attempting to question him in police custody without the presence of his lawyers. Speaking with correspondent Adeyemi, brother Peter Adeyemi claimed that the committee visited the facility where Adeyemi is being held, but that he declined to answer questions due to the absence of his legal representatives. He said the family was concerned about the development and urged the committee to allow the embattled suspect to respond to the allegations against him in the same public manner in which they were made. The family's latest claim comes a day after Adeni, through his lawyer, Ademola Oyedokun, rejected the House Committee's plan to question him at an undisclosed location which remains in police custody. Osun election. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has said the August 15th governorship election is not merely a contest for victory, but an opportunity to send a message to the All Progressives Congress on the need to respect the electorate. Adeleke made the claim in a post on his X handle, alleging that some individuals had used their influence to punish the people of Osun State for backing him in the 2022 election. The governor's post comes against the backdrop of a dispute between his administration and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which on Wednesday placed a post-no debit restriction on the Osun State governor's statutory allocation account barely 10 days to the election. The anti-graft agency, in a statement by its spokesman Dele Oyewale, said it had been investigating the state government since March over the alleged fraudulent handling of ecology funds, intervention funds, and Federation Account Allocation Committee disbursement amounting to about 11 billion naira. The commission said the restriction followed what it described as suspicious transfers from the account to different corporate entities from August 2nd, and maintained that its action was not partisan and meant to safeguard public funds. Adeleke rejected the EFCC's explanation, describing the freeze as an assault on the constitutional rights of subnational governments, and insisting the commission obtained no court order before instructing the bank to restrict the account. On business news, the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority chapter of the National Association of Air Traffic Engineers has distanced itself from recent comments by the association national leadership on the proposed review of the ticket sales charge sharing formula, saying it was neither consulted